tired. It is day 56 on road to a million. Just got back from Wyoming. Super last minute trip. Like, I quite literally Friday was going to just grab a drink with my dad and his friend, and then his friend's daughter came and was like, hey, I'm going to Wyoming. You want to come? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I don't fucking know. So I ended up going to Wyoming, drove out there. Was able to take a Rivian, which those cars, if you guys have not driven one, absolutely incredible. The self-driving feature is insane. Being able to have, I guess the one, like, there's a drawback, or it could be looked at as drawback. We'll put a twist on it here in a second. So essentially, what it is like you drive, when you're out in the middle of nowhere, you kind of have to stop at chargers. And when you stop at the chargers, you have to be there for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on how far you ended up going. So it's like a lot of people would be upset about that. They'd be like, oh, I have to wait 2 hours, an hour, hour and a half, or whatever it is, depending on the voltage of the charger itself. Whereas like with a gas car, all you got to do is you pull over, you pump the gas, and you're like, all right, we're good to go. Maybe in and out within 5-10 minutes max or so. Whereas these electric cars, that's not the case. Like, you got to find a charger, you pull in, you plug it in, and then you have to wait and wait and wait and wait. And that could put a little bit of a hindrance. For me, like, I was like, okay, this is a hindrance. This isn't going to make it a little bit more difficult for, I would say, like, the person that I ended up going on the trip with. I was like, oh, this is going to make her anxious because we were thinking about going to all these other cool places and doing all these other things, and we weren't able to do those things for the pure fact of having to wait and charge. Whereas, like, it is a drawback. It can be looked at as a drawback. The nice part is, and this is something that I kind of took from my old man, was you can use it and look at it in different terms. So it's like it allows you to slow down. It allows you to maybe talk with the locals, walk around that town. Some of the chargers might not be in the most easiest places accessible. They're most likely in like shopping centers or something like that, or like near a grocery store. So there's not a whole ton of places to walk. So that's why I was thinking, like, bring a scooter or an electric skateboard or something like that to be able to get you from different places while that's charging. And then you have the app on your phone. And it's like, oh, hey, we're good. Like, let's start heading back. And you can kind of, I guess, experience that town a little bit more on your road trip compared to going somewhere else. An issue I could see it running into is if maybe you do a lot of boondocking or whatever it may be, like having to calculate, okay, I drove this far and then I need to drive this far back. That would be the only concern that I would have, or I could see having, essentially, because like you have to make sure that you get back to a charger, and since there aren't chargers every single place, that would be the only downside. I did really just like the self-driving aspect of it. Like, me just being like, boop, boop, and then it starts driving. Like, you just kind of put your knees on it, or like maybe just hold it like a finger, and like the car just does the rest. It slows down and stops. Like, I don't have to think as much when I'm driving, which is so nice, because then if I need to say get like a B-roll shot or something while it's driving, like I'm not worried about like veering off the road or whatever it was, because when I went down to Canyonlands, like I was doing that when I was trying to get a shot of like some of the canyons, and I almost drove into the opposite lane and almost had a head-on collision with another driver. And I was like, I can't be doing these things. So that's why like having a Rivian self-driving car is very beneficial. So it was a very fun trip. Just ended up driving out there and then ended up driving back. Ended up not being able to go to my grandpa's birthday, which I think I was talking about that on day 51 or 49 or something like that, where I was like, yeah, I'll go. And then this just came up, and I was like, this is more like, I get it, it's a family birthday party, and that's why I was thinking I'll make it up to them by like going back out to Grand Junction, where I lived for a couple of years, figure that out, and maybe meet up with one of my old friends, make a video with him and his business and how he does his day-to-day, and then say hey to them while I'm down there. So that was an idea that I had so that I can actually go see them still. Yeah, I got some ideas in mind for that. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But all I gotta say is, I guess, the spontaneity and just like getting up and going and figuring it out once you get there, it's actually kind of fun. And that's what I was thinking. Maybe I'll look at trying to see if I could find like a truck or something like that. I'm gonna think on that a little bit. I'm gonna edit this video first that I got the footage for, see how I can make it turn out, or see what I'm thinking of the story that I want to tell. And I'll also get another photo with some strangers that I just met on one of the hikes, essentially. And yeah, so I figure we'll just keep going day by day, see what I can do. No idea where tomorrow's gonna lead, but that's I'd say probably the most, not even probably, that is the most exciting part. And yeah, just no one to change but self. I'll shower and pass out because I'm tired. But yeah, no one to change but self.